Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking.
So Stuart, we're talking about the tutorial that Steve planned on leading at the test meeting. But of course, we want to know what happened with your thingamajig. How did that go?
It went well. It was. Oh, I think. Oh dear. Oh dear. What are you doing?
All right.
My rabbit just decided that the correct thing to do was to viciously attack my broom like it was about to kill him. Anyway, sorry about that. I think it was good. Everybody seemed to say good things about it. We covered a lot of stuff in 2 days. I think everybody walked away with their head hurting a bit, but that's kind of the point. So I put the link to the notes in the chat. I want to see. And there's a whole Git repo that's underneath that.
Is Drew's the main repo for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is essentially what I was going to planning on covering, but in an hour instead of 2 days. Because, you know, we're just more efficient here in the US.
Yeah. Got it all done in 2 days, let alone an hour.
But I was not planning on covering Git at all.
We did that at the start, and then we got them to use it to pull down more notes and stuff as the time went on.
I don't think you need to do that. I mean, this is like challenge 1 is almost like introduction to programming.
Yeah, we started it relatively light on the Python to make sure that everybody knew like what way was up. But I think everybody, like most of the people there, needed that really.
Yeah. Hey, I just clicked one of the matplotlib-101, and there is nothing. There's no input or output fields populated. It's just the text.
Inside the Git repo you're talking about.
Yeah, no, but why isn't? You guys
So
are not hosting?
we made multiple versions of each. Made multiple versions of each notebook. One which is populated and one which wasn't. So the people, as we were going through it at the front, they were following doing it in the one which had nothing populated in it.
Oh, that's neat. Okay, I see.
And then, the stuff that's linked out of the index notebook is the populated ones.
I like your example for estimating pi.
That worked really well. Like that, because that was like what we did at the end of the first session on the second day. So everyone had caught up to programming Python and using matplotlib, and like everyone had to actually write some code that did something real and do some relatively interesting plotting stuff. It took them all about half hour or so, but it seemed to go down really well.
How many people did you have?
We started off with about 15 on the first day, and then it was a bit less on the second day because a few people, both from Sheffield and a couple of people from elsewhere, came mainly for the Python part of it, as opposed to the SunPy part. But yeah, I think we did relatively well on people.
What about the age distribution? Is it mainly like
It was mainly PhDs with a few postdocs.
Did you install software on people's computers, or did they come with?
Told people to come with it pre-installed, which for the most part worked. apart from the fact that some people had version 1 of IPython, which wasn't compatible with the notebooks that we'd saved out using version 3, so we had to upgrade everyone's notebooks at one point, like after the Git session.
So some people were like, "Oh, I've got Python on my computer anyway. I can just turn up," and so it wasn't right.
For the most part, most people had SunPy and stuff installed properly. It was just a few people who had an out-of-date version of IPython notebook, which screwed us over.
Right.
Mainly because we didn't realise we needed to enforce version 2, or else we would have said you need version 2, but we didn't even tell people they needed it because we didn't know we did.
Another question. Were these people coming from like a zero programming background or an IDL programming background?
We assumed that people had programming experience, but just not Python. So we weren't trying to teach them programming and SunPy in 2 days.
And what about the IDL SunPy part? IDL SolarSoft? Did everyone in the course use that?
No, we had, as I said, we had quite a few people who were more interested in the Python side of it, didn't really use SolarSoft. But most of the solar physicists we had there did, obviously.
Right.
Were most people using Anaconda, or?
Yes, we have one person using Canopy. We had a couple of people just using Ubuntu packages, but yeah, most people had Anaconda installed. That's what we recommended they installed.
Mm-hmm. So what was the problem with those few people that were running an old version? They just hadn't updated their Anaconda?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
for
hit
the
that
most
same
part, that was a simple fix. We had a couple of issues where it wasn't such a simple fix. Like, we had one person running an old version of OS X, and therefore an old version of Safari. And IPython 3 uses Tornado 4 that breaks on an old version of Safari, and it took me about half an hour of debugging this person's laptop to work out what the hell was going on. Because it would start the notebook fine, it just wouldn't connect to the kernel, because it was the WebSockets implementation that version of Safari didn't support. So I just ended up downloading and installing Chrome on this person's Mac and told him, yeah, use a real browser.
Okay.
So I think most people so we'll have a slightly different audience, right? Because everyone will be a solar physicist, I would guess, or at least most people, like, much more likely to be a solar physicist. And we can assume that everyone has used SSW IDL.
I don't know whether that assumption helps you very much, really, because, I mean, apart from just having a basic knowledge of, like, solar physics data problems and programming, there's not a huge amount of crossover.
Well, I mean, there is a slight. I think the fact that you have to import, install, and then import separate packages, I think that's relatively alien to most SolarSoft users.
Yeah, going through namespaces and packaging is definitely important. Drew did a good section in Python 2 on namespaces.
You did. Good. Because I feel like, when people say, "Oh, I want to learn Python," then it's like, well, okay, you can learn Python, but if you want to do some something, and then you have to get around the whole installation and use of packages.
Yeah, well, I don't think, actually, I think the biggest thing, which is something I still kind of get annoyed with, is once you really want to do anything serious, you have to start making your own package. And making your own package is kind of a pain.
Well, but that's, I'm not sure that we can expect many people who want to dabble in SunPy Python to make their own packages just yet.
Yeah.
We really want to raise awareness of why you should switch from SSW IDL to SunPy Python, or why maybe not switch, just use.
Take advantage of. Yeah.
Take advantage of, yes.
It's another tool for your toolbox.
Exactly, yes. A gigantic toolbox.
Okay. So you're gonna try to distill this into an hour tutorial, Steve?
Well, I'll probably start with the stuff that I had.
Sure.
Actually, I think Jack, weren't you gonna? Have you done any work at that? I thought you had sort of volunteered to do that at some point.
Yes, I have volunteered to do that. I'm going on holiday on Thursday, so we'll do that when I come.
Better get cracking then.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Look, I have to unlobotomize myself this week. I have to do a lot of IDL programming, and then I go on holiday. And then I'll come back and do some of that. But
Okay.
maybe I should talk to you, Stephen, before I leave, and get an idea of what you want to edit.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's chat before you leave. But I think there's plenty. I mean, there's plenty of material here. I think with what I had put together last time, and then with all this here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just putting it all together.
Well, it does also. Well, it raises a question too about whether because whether it makes sense in any way to have two different levels. Like I'm worried. One of the problems is that people are going to be coming in with such different levels of experience.
I think if you could get 2 tutorials, doing one on Python and one on SunPy is probably worthwhile. Because you can go over a lot of just Python programming type stuff, which is really important to understand if you're going to actually appreciate SunPy for what it is. And then there's obviously just using SunPy as well. Because, I mean, just things like lists and list comprehensions make a phenomenal difference to the way you program in Python. And people coming from IDL just have no concept of something like that.
Yeah.
Or dictionaries. I really miss dictionaries in IDL.
I used a dictionary comprehension the other day when I made a multi-wavelength plot for my thesis. And I just did a dictionary comprehension which was where it automatically made the key the wavelength attribute of the map and the value the map. And I iterated over and I just did a SunPy map command with a glob in it, so it returned a list and it iterated over it. And then everywhere else I could just index this dictionary by wavelength to get a specific map, specific map image of. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful little trick. Dictionary comprehension before, and I was just like, this is amazing. Why have I not used this all the time?
If we are done talking about this, if Stuart, you didn't have anything else to say, I would suggest we talk about 0.6.
Yes, we definitely need to talk about 0.6. What's going on with that, Stuart?
What's going on with that is Stuart has way too much to do, and sweet Jeff all time to do it in. There's one outstanding bug that still needs fixing, and when I did try and bundle an RC1 a while ago, and it had a very weird packaging error where it wasn't copying across our default config file, which meant that you couldn't import SunPy without it exploding. I haven't gone back to see whether that bug still exists, whether it was just that computer I was trying it on or what. But basically, yeah, there's like one outstanding pull request and one bug that needs looking into / fixing, and then we should be good to go.
At least when I was skimming over the notebook for what you did for the session, it didn't look like you were using the 0.6.
No, we weren't.
Okay.
Didn't happen.
Well,
I would like to have got what 1374 into 0.6 as well, but I thought, oh, this won't be that difficult, and then it exploded everywhere in a fiery ball of AstroPi death, so that'll have to wait.
So I checked. So what are the milestones?
So the only thing that's outstanding is 1373.
Yeah, I just tried that about half an hour ago. It
1373
works.
and 1376, which is an issue as opposed to a pull request.
Hmm?
1376 is the only thing that's stopping the online build passing at the moment.
Great.
And I have absolute. Well, I mean, I can kind of see what's going on there. It does seems to not be finding the file.
Right.
I guess that's what's happening, but I don't actually know.
Is that is the website up?
Not a clue.
It is up. Okay.
Maybe it might be a beautiful soup pass error. It's not finding the link properly. Because that link.gethref is returning none.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't have time to look at that in the next few days, so that's blocking because I want to get the online test building online build passing before we release. Because I've already found a couple of bugs by going through and fixing all of that.
Sure.
And then there's David's fix, which we're concerned won't work on Windows.
This is 1373.
Yeah, 1373 and its master counterpart need testing on Windows, but we don't run the online tests on AppVeyor because it would just fail all the damn time.
It's such a small thing.
Yeah, it's just an extra test, and it's useful to make sure that it's actually doing what we expect it to. But it just needs testing on Windows if someone's got a Windows machine lying around.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I just transitioned laptops, so I'm kind of in a dead zone. But if I can get Anaconda back up today, then I can try it.
Okay. Anybody want to? Anybody want to volunteer for? Was it 1376? No, wait. Yeah.
I have no experience with this. Does anyone else want to work with the Callisto stuff at all?
I played around with it a little bit when I was ripping out the test files.
Jack or Andy, do you have more experience?
Nope, but it doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't look that bad.
No, it doesn't look that bad.
I've never looked at Callisto.
I mean, it's not anything really to do with Callisto data. It's more to do with beautiful.
I guess it's someone that needs. I guess someone who's used Beautiful Soup would be the best person to take a pass at that.
Yeah.
Is Beautiful Soup part of the Anaconda distribution?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's called. Was it BS4?
Yeah, PS4.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah, it's so confusing when you're trying to get it. You're like, Conda, get, Beautiful Soup. It's like, not found. God damn it. From BS4 import. See. Well, I have played with Beautiful Soup. I probably won't be able to get to this today, but
I mean, I'm not practically going to be able to roll a release this week. I mean, probably all, because I'm moving house tomorrow, and then and tomorrow and Wednesday, and then I'm flying to Denmark on Thursday morning for my brother-in-law's wedding. So I won't be back till Sunday.
would next week work?
Yeah, I should be able to roll it next week, maybe Monday.
Okay. I mean, all I want is that it be before the test meeting.
Well, it's 3 weeks until a test meeting, but I like the dust to settle, so we should definitely try to do it next week if possible.
Yeah.
That gives us a week buffer.
If we can roll, if we can get it done, if we can get everything working, I can roll a RC1 on Monday, and then we can aim for like final release, not this Friday, next Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
I've
good.
assigned myself to one, and I've assigned you, Albert, to the other.
Yep, I saw.
Obviously, if you've got Windows machines lying around or other platforms, I mean, I know we test on OS X now as well, but like maybe just download it and try and run the full online test suite and make sure everything is behaving properly and make sure the docs build and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any PRs we need to discuss?
I might be able to try and roll a release on the plane.
Okay.
Nobody responded to the whatchamacallit. Everything's okay with having the board meeting?
I thought, no, a bunch of people responded, haven't they?
Well, 2 people responded.
To the
When
invite?
did we schedule that for? The 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 13th.
Oh,
The
you
same-
next
this time, the 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. Well, that's all I had to ask.
If there's nothing else major, I've got to get on, so I better skedaddle.
Yeah. That would be fine with me.
Well, just keep in mind that on our current kind of, what we're talking about here is we're going to have a board meeting next week during this meeting. So unless we do something special, we're not going to have a developers meeting next week. And so let's just make sure that anything you need, Stuart, in terms of getting that 0.6 RC out, and let's see if we can get that out by the end of next week. So email or whatever, or GitHub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Great.
cool.
Thanks, Stuart.
No problem.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay.